Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I hope this finds you well. This week's Parsha is Ki Tisa. Ki Tisa, we're kind of like nearing the end of the book of Exodus, the book of Shemot. And it's a big deal Parsha. So firstly, we have a census happening. Every person has to give a half a shekel, a machazit shekel, in order to give the census. No one's being counted straight up because it's Jewish mysticism and Jewish weirdness that if you count things that you're like wishing the evil eye to come upon you. So if you've ever asked perhaps someone who's a little bit particularly spiritual or mystical, how many children they have, they'll say, I have blank children, bli ayin hara, poop, whatever, like kicking away the evil spirits. Interesting idea. The other big thing that happened to this parsha is the sin of the golden calf, chet ha'egel, which is kind of an interesting story. I don't know. I feel like I never really understood what the point of it was. I didn't really understand what was happening. But as I've done some more research, I think I sort of understand it. So firstly, the whole situation that's happening is that Moshe is going up to Har Sinai, to Mount Sinai, to get to the Ten Commandments. When he's up there for a while, Bnei Israel gets nervous, which is honestly, like, who would blame them? They've just been through so much trauma, so much stress, and they go and they're finally safe in the desert, and their leader leaves them. What are they to think from here? So they start to get nervous, and they're like, you know what? We should go back to our old ways, the ways of being idolaters in Egypt. So they go to Aaron, to Aaron, and they say, let's build an idol. Let's build a false god. Or they don't think it's a false god, but they want to build a god. And Aaron is like, okay, bring me all of the golden hoops from your wives, daughters, and sons. Why does Aaron even respond to this? Why does he say anything other than, what the heck, guys? Are you kidding? God just took you out of Egypt and it's fine. And Moshe is going to come back. And what are you doing? Why does Aaron even dignify that with a response? And our commentators tell us that Aaron had a few choices here. He thought to himself, okay, so I could suggest that they look for another leader. But then when Moshe does actually come back, there's going to be a lot of issues with these two leaders. I could suggest that I should be the leader, but then when Moshe comes back, it's going to be that awkward thing of having to cede the power back. And the third thing is, if I say no, they're going to find someone else to do it for them, which is a valid thing to say. It's true. They would have found someone else. So Aaron is like, okay, what I need to do is buy some time. I need to buy some time until Moshe comes back. So I'll tell them to go get their earrings from their family members. And hopefully their family members will be like, what the heck? No, I don't want my jewelry to be used in the making of an idol. So this is Aaron's attempt at buying some time. His intentions were pure. It wasn't that he was like, okay, yeah, I guess we don't trust Moshe anymore and we don't trust God anymore. Unfortunately, Aaron's ploy doesn't work. Everyone's like, yeah, sure, here are all my earrings. Not what he thought would happen, but it's what happens. And the Chet HaEgel, the sin of the golden calf, takes place. This calf is made out of molten gold, and all the people are like, yes, we feel good now. We couldn't see Moshe, but we can see this golden calf. Great. Have you guys ever heard of object permanence? Something I learned about in my psychology courses. Cannot tell you what point we develop object permanence, but if you've ever shown like a picture to a small baby and then you hide it, they'll forget about it. When you show it to them again, they love it. They're great. You hide it, nothing. They don't have object permanence. The idea of something existing when they can't see it is beyond them. Bnei Israel just lacks object permanence in this moment. They're like, Moshe is not here, so he doesn't exist to us. The golden calf, nah, that's pretty good. We can see that. So what is Bnei Israel being taught in this situation? Well, firstly, Aaron really tries to dissuade them from making the golden calf, but it doesn't work. And so what is their punishment? Their punishment is that God is like, I'm going to punish them. I'm going to destroy them. And Moshe is up on Har Sinai still. He hasn't seen what's happened, but God has. And Moshe was like, no, do not destroy them. It's fine. Please do not. Then when Moshe goes down and sees for himself, he sees what's going on and he smashes famously the luchot, the tablets. He smashes them, which I imagine is a very moving thing for people to experience. So Bnei Israel is like, wow, you've been kind of silly. I mean, I don't know if they thought this, but I have to imagine that they were thinking this. Wow, we've been kind of silly. Moshe was up there trying to get 10 commandments for us. And when he was gone, we just made a golden calf. It's not a great way to start off a relationship, but Aaron gave them the opportunity to fix what they were going to do, and they didn't. So this is how we have to be sometimes in life, that when people want to do something that's harmful, you can tell them as many times as you want, but we can't convince anyone of anything. We have to decide things for ourselves. And so in this situation, even though Aaron tried, he wasn't successful. Doesn't mean that he was a failure. He wasn't successful in keeping them from making the golden calf, but he was successful in making a situation where the Bnei Israel could learn from their actions. He didn't just protect them and say, no, you're not going to do this, you're not going to do this. He let them fail. And that's sometimes what we have to do with the people that we love. So Thanks so much for listening. Shabbat Shalom, and I'll see you next week.